Remember that blood test you had last month? The one where your doctors look concerned when reviewing your blood sugars levels? You're eating 300 grams of carbohydrates daily without even realizing it. Let me show you how. That nasi lemak you grab for breakfast, carbohydrates. Your roti canai or bread with butter, carbs. Even that healthy bowl of oatmeal, yep, carbs again. And that sweetened Starbucks coffee you like every day, it is basically liquid sugars. Here is what keeps me up at night. Malaysia has one of the highest diabetes rates in Southeast Asia, with nearly 1 in 5 adults affected. Your neighbor has it, your colleague probably has it, maybe someone in your own family has it too. And carbohydrates, they are at the center of this epidemic. Hi, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Dr. Lee, a medical doctor with over 15 years of clinical experience. My mission is simple: help you understand metabolic diseases so you can have better conversation with your doctors and have informed decision about your health. And today, we are talking about carbohydrates, what they really are, why they are everywhere, and what they do inside your body. This is a very fundamental but important video every diabetes must know. Let us dive in. Carbohydrates are one of 3 macronutrients your body needs, alongside proteins and fat. But carbohydrates is actually an umbrella term covering everything from sugars, fruits to vegetables, fibers, and legumes. Think of carbohydrate like a Lego block. The smaller blocks called monosaccharides. Simple sugars like glucose, fructose, galactose. Stack 2 blocks together, you get a disaccharide, like the sucrose in your table sugar or the lactose in milk. Add 3 to 10 blocks together, there's an oligosaccharide, found in things like maltodextrin. String together long chains of these blocks, then you build polysaccharides, complex structures like the starch in rice or the cellulose in vegetables. So, not all carbohydrates are created equal. Here is the breakdown. Simple carbohydrates are the fast-acting ones. They are made of just 1 to 2 sugars molecule, which means your body breaks them down very quickly, spiking your blood sugars and triggering a rush of insulin. Think of candies, soft drinks, fruit juice, honey, and that coffee with 3 spoons of sugars. Complex carbohydrates are the slow burn. They contain 3 or more sugars molecules bonded together, so they take longer time to digest and gentler rise in your blood sugars level. This includes apple, lentils, brown rice, and whole grains. Within complex carbohydrate, you have got starches. Potatoes, pasta, wheat, chickpea are loaded with them. Fiber, the hero. Our body cannot actually digest fiber, but that's the point. It feeds the good bacteria in your gut, bulk out your stools, and keeps things moving. There are 2 types of fiber. First, insoluble fiber, found in bran, seeds, vegetables. They prevent digestive issue. Soluble fiber, in oats, beans, and fleshy fruits. They may help lower cholesterol and stabilize blood sugars after meals. So, why are carbohydrates everywhere? Ever wonder why Malaysian, or basically the whole world cuisine is so carbohydrate heavy? Several reasons. First, they are cheap and widely available. Historically, only the wealthy could afford fatty meats and fish. Rice, wheat, and other grains, those were affordable for everyone. Even today, carbohydrate-rich foods remain the most accessible option, which is why they dominate our plates. Second, this is very important, the fear of fat. For decades, we have been told that fat causes heart disease. Many people still believing that eating fat goes straight into your artery and clog them up, and it literally enters your bloodstream and block your vessels. So what did the food industry do? They create low-fat everything and replace the fat with, you guessed right, sugars and carbohydrates. Walk down any supermarket aisles and you will see low-fat everything. Low-fat yogurt, low-fat salad dressing, low-fat cookie, all marketed as healthy option, heart healthy. But when you remove fat, you lose flavor. So manufacturer loads this product with added sugars to make them palatable. The result, we have been eating more and more carbohydrates than ever while thinking we are being healthy. And here is something about modern wheat. It has been selectively bred over decades to become more productive and easier to process. The downside, it is also more easily broken down into sugars in your body, leading to faster blood sugar spikes than the wheat our grandparents ate. Now, here is how your body processes carbohydrates. When you eat carbohydrates, your digestive system breaks them down using enzymes, turning them into the simplest form: glucose, fructose, and galactose. These sugars then enter your bloodstream. Here is where insulin comes in. Insulin is the key that unlocks your cells, allowing sugars to enter and be used for energy. Without insulin, sugars just builds up in your blood, which is exactly what happens in diabetes. But what if you eat more carbohydrates than your body needs right now? Your liver stores some of it as glycogen for quick energy access later. Once those glycogen storage tanks are full, the excess get converted into triglyceride, basically fat. This fat then either circulates in your blood or gets deposited in your tissues. That's right. Eating too many carbohydrates consistently and your body will store them as fat, also known as triglyceride as well, even if you are not eating dietary fat. Now, the surprising truth about carbohydrates. Here is something that might shock you. Unlike essential fatty acid and also essential amino acid, there's no such thing as essential carbohydrates. Your body is perfectly capable of making its own glucose through a process called gluconeogenesis. It can break down fats and protein to produce all the glucose you need. In fact, your brains and organs can function beautifully on this self-made glucose and even on ketones produced from fat. So technically, you don't need to eat carbohydrates at all. However, and this is important, to actually tap into your fat storage and use them as energy, your insulin levels need to stay very low. When you are constantly eating carbohydrates, especially the simplest one, you're keeping insulin elevated, which lock your fat away and prevent your body from burning it. This is why people who reduce carbohydrates often see fat loss. Not just because they are eating less, but because they are finally allowing their bodies to access stored fat for fuel. Now, carbohydrates are not the enemy, but they are also not essential. The type of carbohydrates also matters. The amount of carbohydrates also matters. And your body's response also matters. Different people respond to carbohydrates differently. If you're dealing with diabetes, weight issues, or metabolic concerns, understand how carbohydrates affect your insulin and fat storage is crucial. And remember that low fat labels doesn't automatically mean it is healthy. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button. Next time when you see your doctors, you will be ready to ask the right question. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.